Hey guys, Isaiah here with YuGiOh Gaming. I got Logan with me again today, and you guys have been requesting for us to do some combo line videos with the Brave Tenyi deck. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to go on Dueling Book. We're going to open a couple hands and do some playthroughs with it. Hopefully this will help you guys and dominate your opponents. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, so this is going to be our first hand. Logan is going to play through it, and he's going to explain to you how he would play through the hands that we're running. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so this is the first test hand. This hand's obviously really insane, even though you did open up one brick. Well, kind of like two bricks, but drop wood at least can stop them going second. But starting off here, we have a level 7, so we're going to special summon it, and then normal summon the Red Rose Dragon. Then we're going to Synchro 10 into Baron, and then we're going to use Red Rose to special Rock Rose. And then whenever Rock Rose is special summon, it can add one card that specifically lists Black Rose Dragon. So you can actually add to your hand if you already opened Bezel Rose Shoot, just to give you a free discard for later. And now we can go activate Bezel Rose Shoot, special summon this from our grave, make a Hulk. Now we're going to use Hulk's effect. Get 001 from our deck. We're going to tune these two away. Rorodon. We're going to get 3 tokens. And then our 001. Then we're going to turn these 3 a Yazi. And here I would personally use Auroradon to tribute this token to pop the Yazi. Only because you'll need the entire zones because you have Foolish, so you can also end on the Brave package of this board. So I'll destroy the Yazi, and then you trigger Yazi's effect to go special summon Taie. If we had a worm in hand, we would definitely grab Moye, but we do not, so we're gonna grab Taie. Finish this. Get a token. Make YuGiOh. And then we get both effects. So we get to dump Ashina for a follow-up, and then add Blackout. And then activate Foolish. Banish the Water Enchantress. Send the Water Enchantress, banish the Water Enchantress. Activate the right. Get a token. And activate Faithful from our deck. And now we can activate this. Add the Griffin. Discard the Red Rose because we already used the Rose Dragon, so that was just a free discard. Now we can special summon the Griffin. Trigger this to add the equip spell. And then for our opponent's turn, we have Blackout, Droplet, Griffin, Baron, and YuGiOh, as well as Draco back to discard to get the free discard for Droplet. And we have Ashina to help us for follow-up. Instead of ending on Blackout here, you could have also instead of banishing the Yazi, you could instead of banishing the Yazi with Taie, you could also banish Vishuda. And then when you made YuGiOh, instead of sending Ashina here, you could have sent Otara and then added back your banished Vishuda, which there you could have made a level 10 if you, instead of searching Blackout, you could have searched Longyang. But I think this is better blind because it plays around more things. That's the first combo I would do. It's super strong. It's 3 interruptions. And then it's 2 more non-mosh interruptions. So if they activate Dark Ruler or whatever, you still know Blackout Droplet.
All right, so here's our second hand. As you see, we open the Despot, which is a brick, but it's actually a full combo hand. Let's run it.
Yeah, so like you open 2 bricks, but this is actually just full combo. So we're gonna activate Foolish. There's like 2 different lines you can go with this hand, but I think this way is the safest. So we're gonna send the Water Chick, banish the Water Chick, to add the rights. We're gonna activate the rights, get a token, and then activate Faithful from our deck. That's supposed to be activated. Then we can special summon Griffin here, or sorry, we're gonna special summon Vishuda here because we still have a non-effect monster. We're gonna special summon that, and then we're gonna special summon Griffin. And then here we're going to normal summon Despot, link into Hulk. And then you can do chain link 1 Hulk, chain link 2 adventure to play around like Gamma and stuff. So to add this, and then Hulk is going to special summon Red Rose from our deck. Now we're going to Synchro 10 into Baron, and then get Red Rose's effect. Which will special summon Rockrose, and then Rockrose's effect will add a Basil Rose Shoot. Now we're going to Synchro 7 into Yazi. Then we're going to use Baron's effect to destroy the Yazi, Yazi's effect to special summon. We're going to special summon Taiye. Taiye effect. Banish the Vishuda. Get a token. And then we're going to Synchro 8 into YuGiOh, and then get both of their effects. So going to dump this, add Blackout. Now we can use this effect, adding, since we did not have a worm in our hand, we couldn't end on another level 10 because we needed a non-effect monster on the board. But that's perfectly fine because we're going to have a lot of follow-up with this hand, and this hand's actually better than you think. So we're going to add this, discard the water chick because it's a free discard. And then we're going to end with this. So basically this doesn't look that good, right? Like you would think this is only like 3 interruptions, but we drew the draw plus, so that'd be the 4th, right? But actually it's more than that. Because on our opponent's turn, what we're going to do, we're going to prioritize using the YuGiOh first. And then on our opponent's turn, we're going to use the Hulk, Synchro into Formula Synchron, which will give us a draw. And then Formula Synchron will let us Synchro on our opponent's turn. And you can go into either one of the 2 level 10s. You can either go into Qingying or you can go into Longyang, depending on the matchup. Like if they're playing a Brave engine, you might want to go into Longyang and then you still have the Blackout. But with Qingying, you get to leave the like Blackout can pop him and he can protect himself, so it leaves your board. So it's a little bit stronger there with the Blackout, but it just gives you a lot of options. So really, this is like it makes your Hulk an interruption, which normally most people would not see. And if you don't play Formula, it actually just doesn't make your Hulk an interruption, and you get a free draw.
Yeah, I
So
haven't
if
seen a
like
lot of
we
people
could,
playing Formula.
yeah. So like for example, if they do end up clearing our board, we have Gamma to stop them even further, and we have a lot of follow up because we have the Water Enchantress banished, and then we have the Ashina to banish to add the Vishuda. And we have a lot of follow up in that. Plus we have the Basil Rose Shoot as well. And if you notice in these combos, there's not a lot of like points of interaction that our opponent can actually interact with us. Like a lot of the time, we'll have an interruption that isn't that like there's nothing your opponent can do. So this hand is a little different, and I'm gonna this hand's very similar to the first hand, but I'm gonna show what drawing Ashina does differently. So we're gonna special summon Ashina, normal summon Red Rose, and we drew a brick again, but that's fine.
I think that card's glued to your hand anyway.
Yeah, I've drew I think every single hand almost. So you get to special summon the Roxy Rose. Dueling Books are being a little slow. And then you can add the other dragon just for a free discard. So now we're gonna do a little bit different of a line. So we're gonna activate Basil Rose Shoot to bring back the other Rose Dragon. This all looks super familiar, right? Like we're gonna make Hulk. You guys might be thinking, well, this is the same exact combo I just watched, but it's actually different. So we're gonna use his effect. It doesn't really matter what side you combo on. I just prefer to combo on the left side, but in this deck you can combo on either side. It doesn't really matter. And then link away these for the Auroradon. Get 3 tokens, and then 001 comes back. And then here, this is like usually Our last combo, we went straight into Yazi, but since you have the access to Ashina, it gives you a second level 1 tuner. So here you can tune a level 3 and a level 4 into Herald. It just gives you like a second form of interaction. Which will special summon out the Ottera. And that will make Yazi. And then here you can use with this hand specifically, I'm gonna show like what I would probably use. I would use Baron, pop this, Yazi effect, special summon out Tai. Again, we didn't open any worms for some reason, so we never get to use Moye. But Moye is important to play in these decks just because it helps you play through Lancia. But yeah, we get a tuner, or we get a token. Then we're going to use Ottera to add back our Ashina. We're going to synchro again into Qizhao. Then we can use Qizhao 1, Tai 2. Whatever you send, if you do not send a spell or a trap, will get banished. So usually here I send Blackout. Only because you can use Qizhao's effect, because here we're going to go for Long Young, so we're not going to be using Blackout, and since I only play one Qizhao, I don't really want to draw Blackout for turn. And plus, if I use Qizhao's effect later, I can get a token for free. So usually I send that, and then we're going to add Long Young, because I want to show this line. So we're going to add Long Young. And then whatever we discard off Long Young will get banished, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to go to the grave for Long Young because of Herald. We get a token. Now we're going to synchro into our second 10, which usually I go into the Quick Sing Long Young, and they take 1200. So the reason this board is so strong, you might think this board actually loses to Droplet, but actually, because of the interaction with Herald of the Arclight, they can't just activate Droplet and banish monsters from their hand, because Droplet has to send a grave for cost, so they cannot send monsters with Droplet. So if they just send spells and traps, that you can actually just negate it. And a lot of the time, people don't really want to commit their normal summon just to activate the droplet because they're going to have to droplet for 4. And if they're committing their normal summon, they're losing their normal summon. They're losing 3 to 4 cards from their hand, and they still have to out the board. So, yeah. So this board is insanely strong. It's 4 interruptions, has protection through droplet. You can use Chi Zhao's effect to banish the blackout to get a token on board. It's super strong. All right, guys, this is the fourth hand. As you can see, there's no way to get brave in this hand, but this is fine. Basically, the reason I like this deck so much, is because the floor of this deck, even if you're not doing the Hulk stuff, you're not doing anything, you can just play Sword Soul. Here, luckily, we do have access to Hulk, but that is something to highlight that, like, let's say we didn't have access to a tuner in this hand, that the floor is just, you're just playing Sword Soul. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this hand, I would start off by special summoning Ashina, linking and going into Monk, and then activating Vessel. So Vessel here can send any worm from your deck. If you want, you can dump Taye and do some Baxia stuff and bring it back. I think that's a little bit weak to hand traps, but if you're really just trying to make the best board possible, you could do that. I'm gonna refrain from doing that just because it plays into so many hand traps if you want to go that route, and it also affects your grind game. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna dump the Vishuda and add the Ashina here, or Ottera here, I should say. And then we're gonna special summon Ottera. Then we're gonna go straight into Hulk. If they were to stop this Hulk here, that's perfectly fine. If they stop the Hulk, that's fine. We just normal summon Moye, reveal Vishuda, and just play Sword Soul. And then not only to that, we still have access to our Ashina and our Ottera that we have not used yet. So if they stop this, that's fine. If they don't stop this, we make full combo. So let's just say they do not stop it. Wherever the despot is, there. Straight into Auroradon. Three tokens. And the 001. And this is the hand, like I said, you have access to the Ashina here. So you can make Herald first. And then banish Ashina. Something level 1. You can even go ahead and just banish this Ottera to get your Ashina back. More value. Go straight into Yazi. Use Auroradon's effect, tribute itself, pop Yazi, and then use Yazi's effect. It's protected with Arclight, which will special summon Taie. Taie's effect here. What's kind of cool about this is you can banish the Yazi, and then next turn, if you do end up needing Yazi again, you can actually recycle it with your other Ottera, which is pretty cool. Synchro 8 here. Into YuGiOh, and then we can use YuGiOh's effect and Taie's effect. Here, since we do have the Herald, I like dumping the Blackout and adding the Longyung. You do not have to do that, but I do prefer to do that in this hand personally, because this I'll show you why. So next we're going to use Longyung's effect. We are locked into Worms, so we cannot go into Baron, but that's perfectly fine. We're gonna go into the new level 10. So they take 1200 from Longyung and Grave, and we still haven't even normal summoned yet. We normal summon Moye, use Moye's effect, reveal the Vishuda, get a token, and then we can synchro into Draco Berserker. And then now you get a draw off Moye, and you also get a draw off of Longyung. So you get to draw 2 cards here. So our ending board, instead of making Draco Berserker, you could also make Baxia. So if you had a card to set, you could go into Chao Feng if you chose to do that to lock your opponent out of light monster effects. But in this list, personally, I do not play Chao Feng just because I do not think it comes up that often. But in this combo, we have like, what is this? Like, we have 4 cards in hand, like 4 interruptions. This can sometimes in certain matchups be 2 interruptions. So it could be 5 interruptions with 4 cards in hand. They've already taken 1200, and if you use both the Quicksing and Longyung's effects, you've already burned them for 3600. They're already super low, and you have so much follow up. You have Ashina and Ottera and Vishuda and Grave with the trap banish with off of YuGiOh to give you a token, as well as 3 more Tenyis in your hand. If they do not break your board and kill you, then they die 100% next turn.
All right, guys, so this is the last hand we're going to showcase. We didn't randomly draw this hand. We wanted to draw a handful of bricks so we can show you that even when you draw a not so well hand, that you can still end on some interruption.
Yeah, so basically this hand can actually play around some things, which is kind of ironic that, you look at this hand and you see Destrudo, Griffin, 001, Driver, Droplet. Like four of these cards are one-ofs and are not great to draw. Like Destrudo's okay to draw, but the other 3 are definitely bad. And like Droplet's not the best card going first, it's okay. But we're gonna showcase the hand of what all it could actually do. So you can special summon Griffin here, but some people don't know this, but you can special summon Griffin if you control no monsters or you control an adventure token. That's important. So this card actually acts as an extender here, which is kind of ironic. We have to normal summon the Despot 01. Because to special summon the Destrudo, we actually need a monster with a lower level than 7. So now we're going to special summon the Despot 01, paying our 4,000 life points. And we're going to link this and the Griffin into everyone's favorite card, Hulk. What's ironic here, if they have Effect Veiler, even if they Effect Veiler this, you just make a Auroradon and just full combo. It would actually be a little bit better if like this card was like of a Shuda or something like that that would, or like, or choose a bad example, but like the level 1 Tenyi or something like that, so we didn't have to show this and we can normal summon a full combo, but that's just something else you can do. But we're going to use this effect. This is going to be a little bit of different line. Most people won't expect this, but we're actually going to special summon Audra from our deck. And then we're going to link these two into Auroradon. We're going to get 3 tokens. And the 001 comes back. And then here we can synchro these two into Herald. And then now we have everyone's favorite combo to make Yazi. Tributing Auroradon, pop the Yazi, Yazi's effect, special summon the Taie wherever he might be. There he is. Special summon the Taie, using the Taie's effect, banishing the Yazi, getting the token, synchroing 8 here, the YuGiOh, getting both the effects. I would go ahead and banish, because whatever you're sending here is going to get banished, so we're probably going to have to banish like a Vishuda, or you could banish an Ashina. Probably banish an Ashina for a follow-up that you can add back with your Audra, and then we're going to add Blackout. So even through this terrible, very, very bad hand, we ended on a Herald negate, a YuGiOh negate, a Blackout Paw for 2, and then of course you have the droplet as like another point of interaction. But even without the droplet, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions.
Yeah, so even with really, really bad hands in this, you're still able to get up sometimes even more than most decks are doing in the meta. This deck is really powerful, and there's so many lines to play. So this deck is something that if you're going to play, you definitely have to practice with the deck, because this isn't just some basic combo deck. There's so many lines, and every hand is going to be a different play.
Yeah, guys. So this is the combo. Like I said, there's different lines. Like even in this combo, there was different lines that you could have done. Like for example, we could have summoned the red rose off of the Hulk, but um, then we could have made Baron, but then you're kind of stuck because there's nothing else you can really do after that. So you could have ended with like Baron if you'd like some of the other cards in your hand may have been different. You could have maybe went with a different line because then you have a bunch of level 3s on board. Maybe if you had more level 7 extenders or something, you could have ended with a stronger board than this. But we played with what we had. Hope you guys like this video and how I like these combos.
All right, guys. So that is the combo video you guys have been asking for the Brave Tenyi deck. We tried to go over as many lines as we could, as well as many hands as we could, especially with the last hand, just trying to draw a really bricky hand to show you that the deck is very strong. It is very hard to play and very hard to master. So if you do want to play this deck, just sit down and just play solitaire with the deck to learn your combos. And then after that, just sit and learn how to play through multiple hand drafts. But hope you guys did appreciate the video. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.